Why does a city of stars and wealth harbor one of America's gravest human crises? Los Angeles, a beacon of ambition, confronts a stark reality. Over 72,000 souls live without a home in its county, a number down 4% from 2024, yet still daunting. This video journeys into the heart of the homeless in America, exploring 3 distinct corners of the city, each a vivid snapshot of struggle, hope, and hard-won progress. On the 2025 point-in-time count, we uncover the lives caught in this crisis, the bold steps being taken, and the challenges that linger. What secrets do these neighborhoods hold, and can they light the path to a solution?
Me being homeless, I need help, and it's hard out here. I really want to go to a program, go to rehab, and get my life together. I really want to get off the drugs. I'm tired of it because me on drugs, I'm not focused. I can't, take care of I can't even I'm not in my right mind. I just want to get off drugs.
In the shadow of downtown Los Angeles' glittering skyline lies Skid Row, a name synonymous with the homeless in America. This roughly 50-block enclave, home to an estimated 4,000 to 6,000 unhoused individuals, represents the densest concentration of homelessness in the city. As you walk its streets, the air carries the weight of survival. Tents line the sidewalks, makeshift shelters crowd alleyways, and the faces of those living here tell stories of loss, addiction, and systemic failure.
Basically drugs run most of Los Angeles itself, but especially Skid Row. Skid Row hurt me in ways I can't ever explain. It made me do things, it made me see things that I wish I never would have seen. It's amazing what people can do to other people.
According to the 2025 PIT count by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LAHSA, approximately 70% of Skid Row's residents are unsheltered, meaning they sleep in tents, on concrete, or in doorways, exposed to the elements and the city's unpredictability. Among them, 22% grapple with severe mental illness, and 21% struggle with substance abuse. Numbers that paint a vivid picture of a community in desperate need of more than temporary fixes. Skid Row's challenges are not new, but they are stubborn. The neighborhood has long been a magnet for those pushed to the margins, a place where poverty and despair converge. Many here have fallen through the cracks of a system strained by economic inequality and a housing market that feels like a distant dream. The median rent in Los Angeles has soared beyond $2,800 a month, while wages for low-income workers stagnate, leaving little room for error. For someone earning minimum wage, a single medical emergency or job loss can spiral into eviction and, ultimately, a tent on Skid Row. Compounding this, the area's high concentration of mental health and addiction issues demands robust, long-term services that have been slow to materialize. Why, in a city of such wealth, do so many remain trapped in this cycle? Yet, amid the despair, there are glimmers of hope. The city's Inside Safe program, launched by Mayor Karen Bass, has made tangible inroads. Since its inception, it has cleared over 100 encampments across Los Angeles, with Skid Row as a primary focus. Teams arrive with offers of motel rooms, meals, and medical care, aiming to move people off the streets and into temporary shelters. In 2025, these efforts contributed to a 9.5% reduction in unsheltered individuals countywide, with Skid Row seeing a noticeable, though modest, decline in tents. Nonprofit organizations like the Midnight Mission and Union Rescue Mission are lifelines, serving thousands of meals daily and offering counseling, job training, and addiction support. Volunteers, often local residents or church groups, distribute blankets and hygiene kits, their presence a reminder that compassion persists even in the hardest places. However, the road to lasting change is fraught with obstacles. Temporary housing, while a step forward, often leads to a dead end. Many of Skid Row's residents, once placed in motels, find themselves back on the streets when programs run out of funding or permanent housing options fail to materialize. The 2025 PIT count notes that while 27,994 people were placed in permanent housing across the county in 2024, the demand far outstrips supply. The county faces a shortage of 485,000 affordable housing units, a gap that looms large over Skid Row. Moreover, the fear of displacement haunts many residents. Outreach workers report that some refuge shelter offers, wary of being moved far from the community they know or skeptical of promises that have been broken before. For those battling mental illness or addiction, the lack of accessible, long-term treatment beds, fewer than 2,000 for a county of 10 million, further dims the prospects of recovery. Skid Row, then, remains a paradox. A place where help arrives but rarely stays long enough to transform lives. A few miles west, where the Pacific Ocean kisses the vibrant shores of Venice Beach, a striking chapter of the homeless in America unfolds. This iconic neighborhood, famed for its lively boardwalk and artistic spirit, is a canvas of contrasts, where surf shops and artisanal cafes stand mere steps from tents and RVs. The 2025 RAND report notes a 15% reduction in unsheltered individuals here, a sign of targeted efforts, yet encampments persist along Oceanfront Walk, their presence a jarring counterpoint to Venice's allure. The 2025 point-in-time PIT count estimates several hundred unhoused people in Venice, many living in vehicles or makeshift shelters, drawn by the mild climate and relative safety. How does a place so celebrated for freedom grapple with such visible suffering? Venice's unhoused population is diverse, with a notable group of transitional youth, those aged 18 to 24, who form a small but fragile segment. The 2025 data shows a 1.7% drop in this group, reflecting outreach efforts, yet their vulnerability remains stark. Many are former foster children or runaways, adrift without support to navigate adulthood. RVs, once emblems of adventure, now serve as last resorts for families and older adults priced out of housing, with median rents in Los Angeles exceeding $2,800 a month. The 2024 passage of Assembly Bill 2525 allows faster RV removals, streamlining cleanups but igniting debate. For many, an RV is not just a vehicle but a lifeline, the only barrier against the streets. What happens when we remove someone's last refuge without offering another? Efforts to address Venice's crisis are multifaceted. Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe program has extended its reach, offering motel placements and case management to those willing to leave tents or vehicles. The county's Pathway Home initiative has excelled, placing 27,994 people into permanent housing in 2024, a success reflected in Venice's reduced encampments. Partnerships with organizations like St. Joseph Center provides tailored job training and mental health support, addressing the needs of Venice's unique population. The 2025 PIT count reports a 13.5% citywide drop in tents and vehicles, a trend visible here. Community volunteers and local businesses contribute, donating food and funds, while the Venice Neighborhood Council, despite internal divisions, advocates for more shelter beds and affordable housing. Can these efforts harmonize Venice's cultural vibrancy with the needs of its unhoused? Yet, challenges persist. Residents, though empathetic, voice concerns over safety and sanitation near the boardwalk, where encampments contribute to trash and reported crime, straining community ties. The January 2025 wildfires in Pacific Palisades disrupted outreach, diverting resources to emergency response and leaving programs understaffed. The removal of RVs under AB 2525, while effective for cleanup, risks alienating those who rely on them, raising questions about compassion versus order. The broader housing crisis looms. Measure HHH's $1.2 billion for affordable housing has spurred projects, but construction lags far behind the county's 485,000 unit shortage. Venice stands at a crossroads, striving to preserve its identity as a cultural hub while confronting a crisis that threatens its charm. How can we ensure that progress lifts everyone, not just the visible landscape? Deep in the heart of Los Angeles, Hollywood presents a poignant chapter in the story of the homeless in America, where the allure of the Walk of Fame meets the harsh reality of encampments. Once a symbol of hope and stardom, this neighborhood now bears witness to broken dreams. The 2025 RAND report highlights a 15% drop in unsheltered individuals, echoing progress seen elsewhere in the city. Yet Hollywood remains home to a significant portion of the 43,699 unhoused people in Los Angeles. Among them, 40% are rough sleepers, those without tents or vehicles, sleeping on bare sidewalks. These individuals are often the hardest to reach, wary of outreach efforts due to distrust or untreated mental health struggles. Why does a place synonymous with triumph so often abandon its most vulnerable? Hollywood's demographic makeup reveals stark inequities. The 2025 point-in-time PIT count shows Black individuals, who make up just 8% of Los Angeles County's population, account for 33% of its homeless population, a disparity glaringly evident on Hollywood streets. Many face profound challenges. 22% grapple with severe mental illness, yet the county's fewer than 2,000 psychiatric beds are insufficient for a population of 10 million. This shortage traps people in a cycle of street life and emergency room visits. The January 2025 wildfires in nearby Altadena worsened the situation, diverting outreach resources and displacing some unhoused individuals, often without adequate support. These disruptions underscore a system stretched thin, struggling to meet complex needs. Despite these obstacles, signs of progress emerge. The Inside Safe program, led by Mayor Karen Bass, has made strides, clearing encampments along Hollywood Boulevard and relocating hundreds to temporary shelters. The USC Street Medicine Initiative stands out, delivering healthcare directly to the streets with checkups, medications, and referrals for those who might otherwise go untreated. Measure HHH, a $1.2 billion bond, has spurred affordable housing projects in Hollywood, though construction delays push completion dates years out. Nonprofits like the Center for Hollywood offer meals and job training, while community groups organize cleanups to restore the area's appeal. These efforts have driven a 17.5% reduction in unsheltered individuals citywide over 2 years, with Hollywood sharing in these gains. Yet, the path forward is fraught with challenges. The rough sleepers remain elusive, often rejecting help due to mental health issues or fear of institutionalization. The county's 485,000 unit affordable housing shortage looms large, with new developments unable to keep pace with demand. Local businesses, dependent on tourism, face declining foot traffic due to visible encampments, creating tension between economic and humanitarian priorities. The city's new homelessness department, launched in July 2025, seeks to coordinate services more effectively, but its impact is still unfolding. Hollywood stands at a crossroads, balancing measurable progress with the persistent weight of unmet needs. Can it reclaim its legacy as a place of hope for all? The diverse struggles of Los Angeles neighborhoods converge in a shared battle against the homeless in America, a crisis that tests the city's resolve. The 2025 point-in-time PIT count by the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LAHSA, reports 72,308 unhoused individuals in Los Angeles County, including 43,699 in the city, marking a 4% decline from 2024. This progress, though encouraging, reveals a deeper challenge. Only a unified, citywide approach can transform these gains into enduring change. What must Los Angeles do to ensure no one is left behind in its fight against homelessness? Central to the city's efforts is a network of programs addressing different facets of the crisis. Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe initiative has cleared over 100 encampments, moving thousands into temporary shelters like motels, contributing to a 9.5% drop in unsheltered individuals and a 13.5% reduction in tents and vehicles. However, temporary solutions often fall short, as many return to the streets without permanent housing. The Pathway Home program stands out, having secured permanent homes for 27,994 people in 2024. Yet it struggles against a 485,000 unit affordable housing deficit. Measure HHH, a $1.2 billion bond, funds new housing, but delays and rising costs hinder progress, leaving many projects incomplete. Mental health and substance abuse, affecting 22% and 21% of the unhoused respectively, demand urgent attention. USC Street Medicine delivers on the ground care, but with fewer than 2,000 psychiatric beds countywide, access to long-term treatment is limited. Substance abuse services have reduced prevalence by 16%, yet scaling these efforts remains challenging. Nonprofits like the Midnight Mission and St. Joseph Center offer critical support, but their reliance on inconsistent funding limits impact. The new Homelessness Department, launched in July 2025 under Sarah Maheen, seeks to unify these efforts, promising greater accountability after years of scrutiny over mismanagement. Its early steps are hopeful, but tangible results are still pending. External factors add complexity. The January 2025 wildfires in Altadena and Pacific Palisades strained resources, disrupting outreach and displacing some unhoused individuals. State policies, including Governor Gavin Newsom's 2024 Order to Clear Encampments and Assembly Bill 2525 for faster RV removals, have sped up cleanups but raised concern. Removing tents or RVs without alternatives risks further marginalization. Nationally, the homeless in America face a grim outlook, with an 18% rise in homelessness reported in 2024, driven by housing shortages. Potential federal funding cuts loom, threatening local gains. A cohesive strategy linking neighborhoods and agencies is essential. Each neighborhood offers unique insights. The focus on mental health in one area could inform another's approach to its rough sleepers. Success with youth in one community could guide family-focused efforts elsewhere, where family homelessness rose 5.9%. Street medicine models could extend to RV-heavy areas. Community engagement, volunteers providing food and local councils pushing for shelters, fuels this collective effort. How can Los Angeles weave these lessons into a strategy that ensures every neighborhood thrives? As I ponder the homelessness crisis gripping Los Angeles, the human cost of our collective hesitation weighs heavily. Strolling through one neighborhood, I witnessed a man, worn by years on the streets, share his meager meal with a stranger, a fleeting act of kindness amid despair. In another, tents juxtaposed against the ocean sparkle seemed a cruel mockery of the city's promise. In a third, a woman's quiet rejection of aid, driven by fear of losing her independence, stayed with me, underscoring how trust is as scarce as shelter. These glimpses, beyond the 72,308 unhoused in Los Angeles County, reveal a system failing those who need it most. Los Angeles possesses the wealth and ingenuity to lead the nation in ending the homeless in America crisis, yet bureaucratic delays and misplaced priorities hinder progress. The $2.5 billion invested over 8 years marks a commitment, but the $21.7 billion required over the next decade, 2/3 unfunded, casts a daunting shadow. As a resident, I feel both hope and frustration. Programs like Inside Safe and Measure A offer promise, but they demand swift action, accelerated housing construction, expanded mental health facilities, and policies that put people first. The stark racial disparity: 33% of the unhoused are Black, though only 8% of the county's population calls for focused solutions. We cannot accept a city where dignity is a luxury. It's a call to action for all citizens, leaders, and communities to demand and deliver a Los Angeles where everyone has a place to call home. Los Angeles stands at a crossroads in its battle against the homeless in America. The 4% drop in homelessness in 2025, driven by Inside Safe, Pathway Home, and Measure A, is a beacon of progress. Yet, with 72,308 people still unhoused, the journey is far from over. Skid Row, Venice, and Hollywood teach us that solutions must be as diverse as the neighborhoods themselves.